What up guys, in today's video I'm going to be going through the exact daily routine I follow for success. I credit the majority of the progress I've made in my fitness journey to this specific routine, and it's exactly what helps me stay productive. In this video there's going to be tons of tips, tricks, and hacks backed by science that I've used for the past couple years to stay consistent in my journey without ever feeling burnt out. Most people think success comes from working harder, but the truth is it really just comes down to how you structure your day. And for most people, their structure is killing their results before they even start. Every single thing I do in my day, from the moment I wake up to how I train, how I eat, and even how I relax, follows one simple rule, and that's to make success automatic. Structure doesn't mean restriction. It doesn't mean that you have to follow this super strict plan, but having a daily structure in your life that's repeatable and sustainable is what's gonna allow you to finally get that freedom you're looking for. So today I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I structure my day to stay shredded, productive, and focused, all while studying over 40 hours a week, building a business, and still maintaining a life outside the gym. By the end of this video, you'll have a system that you can literally copy and paste into your life, whether you're trying to build a better physique, stay more disciplined, or overall just be more productive and less burnt out. This video is exactly what's gonna help you. Every day I wake up at the same time. Usually it's about 5:45 to 5:50, and that's when I start getting ready for the day. I wake up at the same time every day, even though my schedule changes throughout the week, because waking up at the same time and going to bed at the same time allows your body to follow the circadian rhythm and build up a routine so that when you wake up, you feel ready to go every single time. Your body follows a natural clock, and if your sleep system is really inconsistent, it's gonna be really hard for you to feel productive, feel motivated every single day when you wake up at different times. Not only that, but your energy levels are gonna fluctuate significantly, which makes it not only that much harder to be productive. You have to pick a time that works for you to go to bed and wake up the same time every day, because that's what's gonna tell your body exactly when to trigger your energy levels. I wake up at 5:45 every day, not because it's trendy, but because that's the trigger my body's adapted to. My body naturally wakes up at that time now because I've been doing it for so long. The first few weeks waking up early might feel really difficult, but over time, waking up at 5:45 is the same thing as waking up at 8 a.m., but you're just shifting those 8 hours of sleep a little bit earlier. And it might feel hard at first, but over time, your body gets used to it and adapts. Most people ruin their day as soon as they wake up by grabbing their phone, checking missed notifications, missed emails, going on social media, and immediately stressing themselves out with noise. So to break that habit, what I do is I wake up fully in control. The first 20 minutes of my day, I don't use my phone at all. I use that first 20 minutes to decide exactly how the rest of my day is gonna go, because that 20 minutes is the most important. So here's exactly what I do. I don't touch my phone. I drink a full glass of water. Sometimes I throw electrolytes in there if I'm feeling dehydrated. And then I open up my journal and write down 3 things. I write down what I'm grateful for, the top 3 things I need to execute that day, and exactly the type of person I want to be in 1 sentence. Just a simple 20 minutes of journaling, setting the expectation for the day, and setting the expectation for the type of person that I want to be that day. And what that does is it allows me to forget everything that I did the day before and focus on what I'm gonna do that specific day and the type of person that I wanna act like that day. If yesterday I felt unmotivated, today when I'm starting the day, I'm setting the expectation that I'm the guy who shows up for his goals. Because at the end of the day, what you did yesterday doesn't matter anymore. The only thing that matters is what you do today. If you don't set the tone for the day, then you're gonna end up acting off reaction, and that's not how you push yourself forward. Instead of going about your day doing exactly what you know you need to do, now you have to second guess yourself and think about what you want to do throughout the day. And right there, where you create that gap between your thought and your action, is exactly where you're gonna fail, because the bigger that gap gets between what you want to do and what you actually do, the harder it becomes to go and execute on your goals. And that's not me just being motivational trying to get you to be better. There's real science that backs up this strategy. A study from the University of Wyoming and Texas A&M took a look at what actually happens when a person's morning routine gets disrupted, and here's exactly what they found. They found that even the smallest disruption, like checking your emails too early or running late or skipping breakfast, can have a major effect on what you do throughout the rest of your day. Those small interruptions created what's called an attention residue. Basically what that means is you go into the day without letting your brain fully reset, and that's the whole point of sleeping, is to let your body and brain reset. So when you jump into the new day, instead of having clarity and focus, now your brain is completely scattered. And here's the craziest part. That one little interruption can ripple through your entire day. People in the study performed worse, made more mistakes, and all around reported higher levels of stress just because their morning was out of sync. When you own your morning, you also own your mindset, which in turn is gonna lead you to getting better results throughout the day. Once those 20 minutes go by, I have a clear plan to execute throughout the day, so I know exactly what I have to do, without having to think about it. Then I go right into eating breakfast. I used to be one of the biggest proponents of skipping breakfast because I thought it was just a waste of time. But what ended up happening was without that morning fuel, you end up crashing way harder later on in the day. I keep my breakfast super simple, so it's never a hassle for me to make it. It takes 5 minutes. I do 4 eggs, I just fry them up on the pan. As soon as those are cooking, I toast up a bagel in the toaster, and then I make a mixed berry shake with a protein scoop. It ends up being around 500 to 600 calories, but it gets me that 50 grams of protein I need to start the day to get ahead on my protein goal. Food is just fuel for your body, so when you start the day by eating right, your mental is going to be better, you're going to perform better, your training is going to be better, and all around you won't hit that 3 p.m. crash as hard. If you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't have time to make breakfast in the morning, just wake up 10 minutes earlier and go to bed 10 minutes earlier. It's going to benefit you way more getting that breakfast in than it is getting that 10 extra minutes of sleep. Once I eat my breakfast, I go straight to the gym. The gym is always my non-negotiable before the world gets in the way. People always ask how I stay consistent in the gym, and the answer is really boring. But the truth is, I don't rely on motivation. I just rely on consistency. I schedule out my workouts in the morning every single day. I know for a fact that at 6:45, I'm in the gym every single day. And at this point, I've been doing it for so long that my brain just automatically doesn't even think about it. I just go because that's just what I do. That's just who I am. And that's the habit I've created for myself. Training in the morning is one of the best things you can do for yourself if you're struggling to stay consistent because after work you feel tired. One of my biggest mottos is do it before the world gets in the way. If you wait until after work to train, now you're going to be battling with excuses like you're too tired, you don't have enough time, or you just don't feel like going that day. But if you get it done before you go to work, now instead of having your workout being something that you really don't want to go and do, it's something that fuels the rest of your day. Because once you go and hit that mentally draining, tough, super hard workout, it's gonna prove to yourself that you can do it, and it's gonna set the rest of your day up for success because now you've already proven to yourself that you're the guy who acts on his intentions. Not only that, but you're gonna be more energized after your lift than you would have been if you just rushed out the door and went to work. So now you're gonna be more productive because you have more energy, you have more motivation, and you're able to go into work feeling good, feeling well about yourself. The point isn't just to work out, but it's to create a discipline loop. Once you start seeing your body change and seeing that you can actually go and do it, you're gonna feel way better about yourself. That confidence is gonna spill into everything else. Work, your relationships, your self-image. You're gonna start believing that your effort actually matters. After my workout, I start going into what's called the power hour. I use the motivation from just hitting my workout to boost my creativity and energy through my deep work. I'm not scrolling, I'm not checking DMs, I'm just pure focus. This is where your brain is ready to go and firing, so you wanna get your hardest task done out the way. Usually that's gonna be any sort of creative problem solving. A 2022 study from the University of California found that it takes on average 23 minutes to reset your focus once you get distracted. So this 1 hour needs to be your biggest push forward to getting things done throughout the day. You need to cut off every possible distraction. No phone, no scrolling, no music that has lyrics. You need to do this because this is what's gonna create the momentum for you to keep working throughout the day. By now, your brain is already firing off thoughts like, okay, I'm in control, I'm acting on my intentions, and I'm getting shit done today. And that is what's gonna compound throughout the day to actually let you keep being productive. You've probably heard this phrase 1,000 times, but how you do one thing is how you do everything. So this whole morning routine was specifically designed to tell my brain to put in 110% effort throughout the entire day. So now it's around 10 a.m. I've set myself up for success. I've hit the gym, I've hit my meals, and I've gotten my deep work done. So now I can take a little bit of a break and go get a coffee, eat another meal, or whatever I need to do to get like a 15-20 minute reset. And then I just keep working until lunch. Lunch is what I like to call a midday audit. It's the point in the day where you need to check yourself and make sure that you're still on track for the second half of the day. You just conquered your morning, so there's no reason why you shouldn't conquer your afternoon as well. So for this audit, I asked myself 2 questions. I asked myself, have I gotten done everything that I said I was gonna get done this morning? And what's the single most important thing I still need to get done today? Those questions allow you to block out all the fake productivity. It's really easy to give yourself tons and tons of tasks when they don't actually push the needle forward. You don't need an endless to-do list or fake busyness to just get shit done. You need clarity to specifically define what's gonna count as a win for that day. Then I eat lunch, which I always prep ahead. It's usually something really simple like chicken and rice with some veggies, or some ground beef and turkey or ground beef and potatoes. Something super, super simple just to keep my energy up throughout the day. And then before I get back to work, I try to just get some sunlight. I do like a 10-minute walk outside. That walk helps me get a little bit of a reset, gather my thoughts, and really just prepare for the rest of the day. And then the rest of the day is super simple. I just go about the rest of my work until it's done. Now, just because I got everything done in the morning, I went to the gym, I got all my work done, I hit all my meals, and I prepped my food, that doesn't mean that I deserve to go sit on the couch and relax, because doing that is only going to set me up for failure the next day. So here's how I structure my evenings. Most people finish out their day just doom scrolling until they fall asleep, and that's why they wake up the next day still feeling anxious. So here's what I do instead. After work, I eat my dinner and I prep my meals for the next day, and then I give myself an hour just to reset. Since that time is planned out for me to just relax and do whatever I want, it allows me to take that time completely guilt-free. I don't have to second guess myself. I don't have to think about all the things I should be doing instead. I just get to sit there, no stress, no anxiety, and just do whatever I want to do. And then once that hour's over, I go into my night routine. And my night routine isn't some fancy thing. It's just really, really simple. With no music and no scrolling, I take a walk to the gym because that's what signals my brain to say, the workday's over, I'm ready to start getting tired for bed. And usually this is around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I don't go to the gym again to work out, but I go to the gym again for my recovery routine. I do 10 minutes in the sauna, 5 minutes in the steam room, and then I do a cold shower to finish the night off. That routine is my reset. Not only does it help me clear my mind so I can go to bed without having to think about anything, but it also relaxes my body so when I get in bed, I can fall asleep a lot faster. And then once I get back home, instead of doom scrolling before bed, I journal one more time. All I do is write down one win, one thing I can improve on, and one mindset related thing that I thought about that day. And then after that, I disconnect completely. I plug my phone in and set my alarms. I turn off the lights and I just lay in bed. By 9:30, I'm not watching Netflix, I'm not scrolling, I either read a book or just go straight to bed. I know that structure sounds super strict, but trust me, it's really not. It gives me freedom because as soon as I wake up, I know exactly what I have to do that day to get me to the person I'm trying to become. Now, if freedom for you is staying the same, staying in your comfort zone and not chasing your goals, then that's fine. But you're always gonna feel guilty and anxious going through the day, not pushing to those goals. And if you don't feel guilty about not being where you wanna be, then you need to set higher goals for yourself because you're not striving for anything, and that's where fulfillment is really gonna come from. If you take just one thing from this video, let it be this. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your structure. You can set the highest goals you want, but if your structure doesn't match those goals, you're always gonna fall back and you're never gonna get to that level you're trying to get to. Your routines aren't just habits, they're your identity coming to life. If you wanna feel in control of your life, you need to stop searching for motivation and start building systems that actually work for you. Those systems can make success your default so you never have to worry about failing again. You wake up with intention, train with purpose, work with focus, and you get your rest guilt-free. Because the moment you stop letting life dictate your actions and start building out a schedule that's gonna get you to the person who you wanna become, that's when everything changes. If you found this video helpful, drop a sub and follow me on Instagram @GabeLiederman, where I post lifestyle, fitness, and motivation content every single day to help get you one step closer to your goals. Peace.